Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the show. We're keeping it real. Goes right. Welcome back to Real Take Sports Talk with the return of our number one NBA analyst guru and extraordinaire, Trenzy.
Yo, what's up? Happy to be here. How you guys doing? How's
I'm
Omer
doing
doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Kind of tired. Been a long few days. Done a lot of streams. My voice is beside itself at this point, but we have got an amazing show planned for you. We're going to be talking about the NBA draft, which obviously was this week. You want to see my reactions, my coverage, go check that out in the archive. Subscribe, by the way, if you haven't already. Also, we're going to be talking about the Nats blowing everything up. The World Series, we're a long way from the World Series champions of 2019, but it is going to be okay. And I will tell you exactly why Nats fans everywhere should be happy. I'm also going to be talking about about Luka Doncic and his dominance of the Olympics. Simon will also give his 2 cents on that. And, of course, we'll go to the NFL. Aaron Rodgers returning to the Packers. Big trick Nick Foles. Is he going to be traded? And much, much, much more right here on Real Take Sports Talk live here on YouTube. Again, if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and help me out. If you love me, hit that like button to help out the algorithm so more people can see this wonderful show that we try to bring to you every week but end up missing out on somehow, some way, because every week something comes up. But I'm here. No more flakers. That should be on a shirt. No more flakers.
Oh yeah, real
All
take,
right.
no flake.
I might steal that one. But no, Simon, let's get started today by talking about the biggest thing that happened over the past few days, and that is the NBA draft. It was, of course, this past Thursday. We saw Cade Cunningham go number 1. We saw Jalen Green go number 2, Evan Mobley go number 3. There was a lot of things. Let's actually go through it. So the draft was this Thursday. Let's take a look at the people who got drafted. Of course, you had Cade Cunningham at number 1. Like I said, Jalen Green going number 2, Evan Mobley at number 3. Those three were kind of very much in place before the draft. But then Scotty Barnes, it was a very big surprise. Scotty Barnes going number 4 to Toronto, and then Jalen Suggs, of course, going number 5. And then we saw the biggest surprise, I think, of the entire first round, Josh Giddey, point guard out of Australia, go number 6 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So it was a bit of a mixed. It was a bit of a tricky situation here. Like a lot of people got thrown monkey wrenches. A lot of people's mock drafts went right out the window. I remember live on the stream, I threw my mock draft away because I was like, well, it's worthless now. But it was interesting, and I think one thing that I took away from this, and I want to get your thoughts on the draft as a whole before we go into more in depth. One thing I took away from this was most of the teams that picked lottery got a lot better. Like, actually a lot better. And it's not something that happens so much in past drafts. And I think that's a testament to how deep this draft was. Because I think, unlike almost any draft I've ever seen, there were almost like no like quality, like there were no players in this draft who weren't like at least rotational players. Like, these were all players who could come in and contribute in some way at the bare minimum. So I thought this was great for a lot of the lesser teams, the struggling teams in the NBA today. But what did you think about this draft? Just general thoughts.
I just thought this draft was honestly one of the deepest drafts that we've had in a while. Even back to that '03 draft. I'm really excited to see what these players do in the next 5 years. Obviously, I was upset about the first round, the first overall pick being Cade Cunningham. I just think Jalen Green was a little bit better. But overall, this draft, it's exciting for the league. We have no more trash lottery picks. No more. And overall, I mean, I don't think any team necessarily really failed the draft necessarily.
Yeah.
My draft grades, I'm not sure if I shared them with you, but I had a lot of A's on there. It was really hard to give any teams a B. The only A minus I had was the Pacers, and that's because they picked the JUCO guy.
And he might end up being good, and he might end up being like proving some people wrong, but he was probably one of the more questionable picks.
Also an old pick, 24.
Yeah. Hey, man. He's a grizzled veteran at this point. But I mean, so here's what I want to start off by talking about. I talked about surprises. And I talked about how there were some picks that did surprise people. I spoke about how the Toronto Raptors not picking Jalen Suggs at number 4 might have been a surprise to people. Instead, they went with Scotty Barnes, very good wing. He can come in, he can contribute immediately, and probably fill out a role for that team. But you would think that maybe someone like Jalen Green would be better if they're losing Kyle Lowry or if they want to replace Kyle Lowry. They went another route. That's fine. And then Josh Giddey to the Oklahoma City Thunder. A lot of people didn't like that pick because they thought it was kind of obscure or out of nowhere. But, as you can see right here, he went number 6. But for me, I raved about this kid, Josh Giddey, for a long time. I raved about how he was, in my opinion, the best pure passer in this draft. He had, I think, the biggest ability to get better at shooting. I think he had that. He played against professionals and men in the NBL. He played in a professional league in Australia. It's the same league that LaMelo Ball came out of last year. So it's not like, a scrub league. And I think we're seeing basketball internationally get better and better and more competitive, and you're seeing that translate into more better first round picks. So anyone who thinks like that might have been, I was surprised, but I think that was a solid pick for them because I think he can become. For me, I always thought of Josh Giddey as a player like. If there's like if this is like or sorry if this is Lonzo and then this is LaMelo, Josh Giddey is like he's like right in between those two guys, because he's not as good a shooter as LaMelo, but he's better than Lonzo and he has the ability to be a lot better than Lonzo. And he's got the fundamentals. He can drive. He can do a lot of things, and I think that makes him one of. Yep, and I think that makes him one of the best prospects in this draft. So I wasn't mad, or I was actually happy that the Thunder got him because you pair him with SGA, you pair him with that young team, and the Thunder, man, they have 17 first-round picks. 17 first-round picks until, I believe, the year 2026. So they have their future, and it is very, very bright. And again, for me, that was the biggest surprise, but I do think it's going to work out well for them. What about you?
Overall, with that number 6 pick, I was absolutely shocked. I'm a Kuminga fan. And I mean, just Josh Giddey for me, he has a lot of potential, like you mentioned earlier, a lot of superstar potential, but I just really need him this year to focus on that jump shot so they can work on spacing the floor out there in Oklahoma. I like him paired up with, I think him and Shea will be, pretty good. I do like this kid's upside, but I just thought Jonathan Kuminga was going to go over to OKC, but it's nice that they got themselves a nice small forward in Josh Giddey.
He's a point. He's a point guard. He's a 6'8" point guard. That's the other thing. He's a mismatch. That's the other thing that makes him so.
That team's just long now.
Yeah. Hey, man. They're different. Everyone's going small ball. They're getting bigger players. And look, there's a reason why. Like I'm not comparing him to Luka. That's not what I'm trying to do, but. One of the things that makes Luka Doncic so unstoppable, and we'll talk about him specifically in a later segment, is the fact that as a point guard at 6'8", 6'9", the dude is a mismatch. One of the things that makes LeBron so great is at a 6'7", I believe he is 6'8", whatever he is, 6'6",
7.5, yeah,
whatever he is. He's big as shit, and that's a mismatch for the team that's opposing him. So I think that also kind of plays well into that, specifically that Josh Giddey pick. I think he's different, as Cincy Edits in the chat just said. So let's talk about Kuminga, because that was another interesting thing. Because I thought, here's the thing, Jonathan Kuminga to me was a player, or is a player that. I think he's got a high motor. He's got great defensive awareness. He's got he can be like one of those rotational players, one of those even starting players that contributes well, but it depended on who he went to. Because what I didn't want to happen to Kuminga was him to get put into like a Michael Kidd-Gilchrist situation. Because to me they're very similar players in a lot of ways. So I didn't want him to go to like a team that needed like a superstar, but then they picked him, and then there's all this pressure on him. I think he went to a great situation, by the way, in the Warriors. That's the best situation he could have gone to. There's not a lot of pressure on him. He can play his ball. He can get better at shooting because he's surrounded by two of the best shooters in the history of the league.
Do it.
Yeah, so I think that it's going like he is honestly, of all these draft picks, he is probably in the best situation to progress and reach his full potential.
Yeah, yeah, and to furthermore, I mean, he's only an 18-year-old kid. You got to remember, this guy's only 18 years old. He can switch on both sides of the ball. Yet again, jump shots a little to be desired. I felt that with this draft a little bit. Not a lot of super shooters, but a lot of length and a lot of switchable guards going forward into the league as we move into like a league where we don't necessarily need the 7-foot big man anymore. We don't need the Shaq dominant player on every team, or a Shaq or a big man who's going to be 300 pounds who can't shoot the ball anymore. I do like what he brings. He brings a lot of versatility to the Warriors, and I hope that he takes advantage of, like you said, being next to two of the greatest shooters to ever do it. He also has a great coach, and that team, I mean, they have veterans, but like they're pretty young too, and I feel like they could go deep into the playoffs because they can switch everybody now, almost everybody. Now, how well he does depends on who they sign in free agency. For me, at least, how well he does with the team in his first year. But he's definitely someone that I'm saying is going to be an all-star in the next 3 years. I definitely see that in Kuminga as a Kuminga fan. You heard it here first.
Sorry, yeah, and I think he has I think he has the desire to do it. I think he's got the ability to do it. And I think he will end up, being successful because of the situation where he is. But that's the thing about this draft, Simon, that kind of stood out to me too. There are so many players that have that extra edge, that mentality, that determination, like that exactly. All like nearly everyone who went in the top 10, top 15 even, like they had that similar type of mentality. Like there's like not a single player I think that went like top 12 or whatever that you can say there's like doesn't have that extra motor. Like someone like James Bouknight is actually someone who stands out to me, honestly. Like because Bouknight, I had him going to the Thunder at 6. He ended up, whatever. He went to 12 or he went to 11 to the Hornets, but even that, I'm like, okay, he's a great scorer. He's going to be playing around another great scorer in LaMelo Ball. It's going to take pressure off of LaMelo Ball, so it fits. And that's why I want to reiterate this point. Every single team, I feel, that picked in the lottery got better and actually like picked someone who is going to immediately make a big impact on their team. And that's what I liked about this draft. And the reason for that also is because you know what it does? It separates out talent or it divides talent amongst these teams in a better way, better than we've ever seen, I think, before in the NBA. Because you have teams like the Magic. We haven't even talked about them. The Magic might have their core for the next decade, and they might go on some playoff runs because the two dudes they got in this draft, in Franz Wagner and Jalen Suggs, those are two dogs, absolute dogs. The fact that they got them where they did, especially Jalen Suggs, literally fell into their lap. Man, like, bye Markelle Fultz. but
Yeah.
but I mean, look, you got Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner. Like that is a great core to build around. You can get some other rotational pieces once you trade away some of these other players on the Magic, I feel. But I think that Magic core, like the Orlando Magic, like those two players are going to be their cornerstones for the next decade.
Yeah, for sure. And let's just dive into Jalen Suggs. We're talking about a kid who came into college, played on the biggest stage in college, won a national championship, for crying out loud. I'm just waiting for this kid to figure out that jump shot. That is the only thing he needs to work on. Other than that, kid can run fast breaks. He's great in the open floor. He's a two-way player. He puts his heart in on defense, and that's not something we see a lot as we progress to higher scoring basketball games and stuff. So I'm really excited for Jalen Suggs out of Gonzaga. This kid, that's a special talent. He's also a leader. He's proven that he can lead at all levels so far in his career, and I'm excited to see him take off. Franz, not too fond of him. I'm kind of a Stephen A. Who is this guy? So Omer, why don't you just let me know what's the scouting report on Franz?
Oh, Franz Wagner, man, this guy's incredible. Like he is. So he was out of Germany and then he ended up going to the University of Michigan. Like this dude, yeah. So he got great coaching there. He got a lot better there. This dude, he can be that type of lethal wing. Like think about like a little bit of a Bogdanovich a little bit. Like he can be lethal. This kid has the potential to be lethal. He's also got good awareness. He can be one of those scrappy players who's gonna fight for the ball. He loves the game. Like there's the intangibles for Franz Wagner are off the charts, and the ability as well. Him being as athletic he is, especially for his size and who he is. It's great. Like that's why I said like him and Jalen Suggs. Like there could not have been two better pieces to get together than these two. Like I think they'll go together very well because they got a very similar mentality. Jalen Suggs is a leader. Franz Wagner also has the same leadership qualities. The locker room is going to be better day one when they enter in Orlando. The team is going to get better, and they are going to get better as the years go by and their chemistry builds up. And to get these two talents together in the same draft and have them locked into the same contracts for the same amount of time, that is big. That is big for an Orlando team that honestly, look, as good as Nikola Vucevic was for until they traded him, since Dwight Howard left, they've not been in the conversation at all. They've not been in any conversation at all. Let's be honest. So I think this allows them the potential, definitely a few years down the line, to make the playoffs. But depending on how well these two progress, and if they progress to the level where I think they can, man, they could be contenders. They legitimately could be contenders in the East in a few years.
Definitely. And then let's talk about the sleeper pick. For me, my sleeper pick was the Sacramento Kings. They got away with another one this year, Omer. They took Donovan Davion Mitchell as their point guard, the kid out of Baylor. I liked how this kid rose to stardom in the last year or so. I like what he brings. He has skill. He's a pretty good prospect for one. And it's time that the Kings, finally get some talent over here. Someone who looks healthy. I mean, the boy looks healthy. Let's talk about that. The boy looks healthy. He's not no Marvin Bagley. He's not a boogie for them. I think this is a guy who, I'm surprised they drafted a point guard low key because I do like Swiper. I do like De'Aaron Fox. And I hope he stays there. But if he doesn't, this is the perfect guy to go along with that Kings roster. And he's just, I also, I'm really big on defense, and I just like how he's super intense on defense. Not Colin Sexton intense, but like he will actually clamp you up this time. Like I'm really excited.
How intense? How intense is Colin Sexton intense? Because like I can tell you, as much as I love Colin, like it's not that intense.
He tries though.
It's the intensity, the intensity of a gnat, the intensity of a gnat on defense, like of a little ass bug.
I'm gonna leave Colin alone because he had a good season this year.
Love Colin, by the way. I love Colin Sexton. He's the cornerstone. He's going to be one of the cornerstones of this team, my Cavs, moving forward.
Definitely. And now he has someone who can actually play with him in Mr. Mobley.
Oh my God, so, Evan Mobley. I cannot tell you, when the Cavs were on the clock, I was 99% convinced. Like there is no way this team could mess it up because Evan Mobley there's a reason he was like, potentially going number 2. He was at one point the number 1 prospect, I believe a few months ago, but there was a little bit of me that was thinking, man, if there's one team in the NBA that would mess this up, it would be the Cavs. Because look, we've picked Anthony Bennett number 1 overall. We went with Dion Waiters, and who again, not a great pick, good pick, but not a great pick. We've missed on first round picks a lot lately, so to have someone of Mobley's caliber, who is a defensive monster, averaged almost 3 blocks a game. This guy plays with such fluidity, with such natural ability. He dominates wherever he is. And look, if he learns to shoot, I'm telling you, the sky is the limit for this kid. The sky is the
muscle on that baby boy.
What?
We got to put some muscle on him.
Okay, hey, he's a 7', 19-year-old kid. We'll put some muscle on him. Hey, they eat good in Cleveland.
Do they? Poverty stricken.
Jesus, LeBron ain't good in Cleveland, but
he did.
I think Evan Mobley is going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine. There's not going to be the need for him to come in and be dominant scoring because Sexton and Darius Garland can take the load off of that. I think Kevin Love is actually going to help him out. If the Cavs end up keeping Kevin Love, I think Kevin Love will help him out in his development, and because he's a young player that I think Love will actually thrive with as far as, teaching him the ropes and maybe playing with him as well. Because Kevin Love, man, he showed last year when he was healthy, he's got a lot left in the tank. Like he had a few triple doubles. I believe he had a few 30-point triple doubles. So it's dependent on that. I think the motivation is also going to help him out. So I'm not saying the Cavs are going to make the playoffs next year. That's not going to happen. But I think as Evan Mobley develops, we will see the development of the Cleveland Cavaliers for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that being said, we've been very positive about a lot of these players. Let's get to some negative because we have to. Simon, who do you think was the worst pick? The worst pick from wherever they were, or that pick that made you go, I don't like that. Who was the worst pick of this draft?
I'm not going to lie. Well, what is a Balsa Capravico, whatever the heck that is? Who is this guy? Who are you? Like that team. Okay, he's okay. I'm gonna talk about the pros first, and then I'm gonna talk about the cons. Pros, dude, 7'1". Who doesn't want a 7'1", like 19-year-old kid? But he plays too.
Are you you're talking about Alperen Sengun from Turkey?
No, I'm talking about the 57th pick in the NBA draft.
Bolsa from Serbia.
Big, slow traditional center on a team with LaMelo Ball where they like to run the fast break. I just don't see. I know second-round draft picks are kind of like you just shoot in the dark at this point because everybody worth taking is off the board. But I thought they could have just taken Raekwon Gray out of Florida State, but they took his homeboy, the Serbian, and I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan because I thought Raekwon Gray in the second over as the 50, he went 59. He could have gone 57. I think him, considering his player comparable is PJ Tucker, that would have looked better for the future of the Hornets paired up with LaMelo Ball. I'm hearing from sources LiAngelo Ball's on the way. Then you have Miles Bridges. And then you have this Raekwon Gray guy who's like a PJ Tucker who is basically just a hustle and role player. Shout out to PJ. You want to chip my boy. But I just think they you can't ask Michael Jordan to do everything. He got a good pick last year. He did pretty good this year in the first round, but he had a lot of can't miss prospects this year. And I think the second round is truly where you see who's a real GM. And Jordan, you failed. Yeah. And this kid's not going to be in the league in the next 2 years because he's just not built for today's game. You have a 7'1" player who plays a traditional style at the center position. And we're in a league where centers are not even slowly, progressively moving out toward the three-point line. So maybe you can use him in the pick and roll. I don't know. But that's my worst pick. What about you, Omer?
Hey, All I will say about that is don't sleep on these Eastern European dudes. They've been proving us wrong for the past few years, all right? The reigning MVP, man. Reigning MVP, Nikola Jokic, puts some respect on his name. Not necessarily Bosa's name, because we don't know what he's going to be, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They definitely don't make him like they used to, and I mean in a good way. But so for me, it was a bit of you see again. I was very positive about a lot of the picks in the first round. I thought that a lot of these guys went into good situations. One pick that I was not so happy about, or that I questioned a little bit, was the Pelicans picking Zaire Williams at 14, or I believe 11 overall. Look, Zaire Williams is a good player. I thought he was going to go much, much lower than, or much, much higher, I would say, or lower, yeah. He was going to go to the bottom of the first round, I thought. I thought picking him before James Bouknight, especially when Bouknight was on the board for the Pelicans, who are a team you want to take some pressure off of Zion over there. You already have a pretty good wing in Brandon Ingram. So yeah. I thought it was a bit of a weird pick. They're picking another wing that also can play shooting guard and Zaire Williams, but I thought at that point just pick James Bouknight. Bouknight was one of the best scorers in this draft. He was one of the best players, actually, in this draft. Well, I thought one of the more underrated players in this draft. So to see him go one pick later to Charlotte, I thought it was, again, what another player that kind of fell into that team's lap. But that's not hating on Zaire Williams. I just think Zaire Williams was considering where he went in the draft and the team he went to, I thought there could have been a better pick there. One thing go ahead.
To be honest, I thought I had Zaire Williams going to the Spurs. I thought Pop would jump all over that. He didn't get the chance to, but I had him going a lot later in the draft as well. Bouknight, that's just a solid pick from Charlotte. But I don't know. I think you're going to end up eating your words out there with Zaire Williams on.
I hope I do. I hope I do.
This roster, you have Ja Morant, you have Jaren Jackson. And then who's their two guard? He's irrelevant. But now you have Zaire Williams. That team's just stupid athletic for no reason. And they're super young. And he can play he can play the wing position, which I think they really lacked that. Last year, they got exposed at the wing position, at the three position, because they just didn't have anybody for real. So I'm excited. So help me God. I hope this guy is good, but I really think, they could have taken Joshua Primo because he's an actual shooter, and that as Ja Morant, works towards building that jump shot, it would have been nice to have a nice shooter right next to Ja
Real
Morant.
Quickly, can we talk about how the Warriors somehow, some way, the Golden State Warriors in this draft ended up with Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody in this draft? Like they added Moses Moody, who again, another one of those players who I think people are gonna look back at Moses Moody in a few years and be like, damn, how did we miss out on? Yeah, how did they not grab him? And he went to the Warriors of all teams. He's only gonna get better on that team. He's like, and then they also get Kuminga. Like the Warriors are gonna be, if Klay Thompson comes back at even like 70% of what he was, that's gonna be a dangerous team next year, a lethal team.
Sheesh, that's what I'm saying. Sheesh. The Warriors just never failed to name one Warriors draft pick in the last decade that was terrible. Name one. Can't. That team has championship pedigree down to the GM picking players. Like, I don't think it's fair. I don't understand. How is it that you won 3 championships in the last decade and you still find a way to get 2 first-round draft picks? I don't know. But like you were saying, if Klay Thompson comes back, which he's showing every indication that he's coming back. LeBron, look out. He's back and he's stronger than ever. Have you seen his workout regimen recently?
It's insane. It's insane.
Looks absolutely amazing. Weird cat. One of the weirdest basketball playing light-skinned dudes I've ever seen. Omar, you got his outfit. Do you have a picture of his outfit somewhere here? What this man wears?
I don't hear right now, but
Well,
I'll put it in post. I'll put it in post. Go.
yeah, it's just crazy. But the fact that the Warriors always seem away, like, okay, like they got Wiseman, that was a clear like one to get. But like Moses Moody, this is a freshman we're talking about who was in a power conference, who went to the Elite Eight, and he was a freshman, and he's ready to play minutes next, like this season. I could count on this kid playing 26 minutes a game. I could give him that and be confident that he's going to produce because he's just ready. And not to mention the size, the shooting ability, the athleticism. Also, low key, Omer, don't be surprised if he gets second team All NBA on defense in like 3 years. Like the kid's
Very
got
well.
it.
The kid,
And
he's a great all around player. Actually, he's a very good all around player.
So I'm my earliest NBA finals prediction. I think the Warriors might be in there if everything just works out. I don't.
Hey, with a healthier Klay Thompson, and again, I'm not even saying 100% because like it's hard from 2 ACL injuries. It's hard to come back from that and be 100%. It's hard to come back from that and be 80%. But even if he's like 70% of what he used to be,
hard to come back. Let's just be
lethal.
real.
It's hard to come back. Like it's hard to come back. But like, but he looks. But he's working out. He's working hard. And hey, man, the miracles of medical science in 2021 is insane. So that's been proven over the past few months. So to be determined. To be determined. So all right, Simon. So last thing about the draft, and then we'll get into some fan questions because the chat's kind of blowing up here. Last thing I will ask you. You were a big fan of LaMelo Ball, who last year did win the NBA Rookie of the Year.
Hold on.
Are we okay? Please don't take your shirt off on camera. Okay, we're gonna take the camera off.
I don't have
Simon.
it on under this. I don't have it on under this. I hung it up and pressed it.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll just act like you have his jersey on. Look, LaMelo Ball won Rookie of the Year last year. Simon, who do you think goes away with the NBA Rookie of the Year award this year, considering how many great rookies are in this class and the situations they went to? Who do you think is going to end up in that situation where they just excel the most?
All right, drum roll, please. I give it to the Indiana Pacers, Chris Duarte. I just think he's the most NBA-ready talent in the draft right now, who is in like, as in he could come in, produce solid, play both sides of the ball. I think Chris Duarte out of Oregon, considering he played JUCO, he wanted it more than everybody else did. That's what I get from him. He's 24. He's got an NBA body already. He's damn near in his prime. I got shooting guard Chris Duarte. What about you, Omer?
Yeah, Chris Duarte is an interesting pick there. I mean, it wouldn't be my first, probably not my second, but for me, I had it. I'm kind of torn because in reality, if you look at like the teams, also one of the things you have to factor into this about predicting who's going to be Rookie of the Year is the teams that they're on and the proportionality of like, how much more opportunity is this player going to get to shoot and dominate comparatively to another team? Like Jonathan Kuminga is not going to get the same amount of opportunities to score on his team, compared to a Cade Cunningham who has less to work with or a Jalen Green who has less to work with. That being said,
Jalen Green has a lot to work with. Let's hold on.
No. Well, you know what I'm saying, but
yeah, okay.
Like he doesn't got Steph Curry on his team. But for me, I think going with my gut on this one, I think it's going to be Jalen Suggs, and the reason I say that is because the Orlando Magic, like last year when they traded away Vucevic, they basically destroyed their team. They ripped it apart on purpose and rebuilt, and Suggs. Well, yeah, they got Gordon, but Suggs is going to be the primary ball handler. He's going to be the primary scorer, I think, for a lot of the season. I think he's going to be able to get a lot more opportunities to pass the ball into scoring situations and score the ball himself. And playing alongside someone like Franz Wagner is also going to get some pressure off of him as well. Young team, a lot of opportunity out there. Playing in the East also, I think, gives him a little bit of an edge comparatively to the West. I think that it's going to be Jalen Suggs. Now, it's easy for me to say Cade Cunningham. It's very easy for me to say Cade Cunningham because up in Detroit, they literally have nothing. He has nothing to work with. It's him. But it's just him. So, I mean, he has the most opportunity, and that's not taking away anything from Cade Cunningham. I just think that highly of Jalen Suggs, and I think he's going to be in that best situation to succeed and have it show up on the stat sheet and have it show up, in his production on the court. So for me, it's going to be Jalen Suggs. I'm good. I might be wrong. I'll be happy to be wrong because I cannot name a prospect honestly in this draft that I really didn't like.
In the top 14, yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Now, who do you think is going to be the fall off rookie this year? Who do you think is going to have a hard time adjusting to the league?
Hard time adjusting to the league. I would probably say, like, it depends on what you mean by hard time adjusting. I mean, you could say someone like Kai Jones who goes to the Knicks, probably not going to get too much time in the rotation. He's actually no, his rights were traded to Charlotte. Never mind. But I mean, Kai Jones still, even in Charlotte, I think is going to have a tougher time. Another player that comes to mind would be someone like, maybe a Nashawn Highland, I think is his name, out of VCU. He was a good player, solid player. Went to the Nuggets. I don't know, next to someone like Murray, Jamal Murray. I don't know how much opportunity he's going to get there. And, I don't know what the adjustment's going to be coming from there, given his skill set. So, I mean, people like that. I don't really see anyone. The one player I will say, one player who could be very boomer bust would be Scotty Barnes. I think very highly of Scotty Barnes. I think he can contribute. I think he's going to be fine. That being said, he does have a way to go. And that's just the honest truth. He has a way to go in his ability to prove that he can play with bigger people. He has, he's not proven like Jalen Green with playing with adults. He's not proven like someone like Josh Giddey playing with adults. So that's the thing. I think he'll have the most to prove as far as proportional where he got picked. And considering the situation he went to, man, like Toronto Raptors before last year, they were in the playoffs and they were a contender. Even without Kawhi Leonard the year before, they were a contender. So like there's some pressure on him too to come in and kind of make up some of the gap there. So he's someone to keep an eye on, I think, as far as maybe someone who might not have the same level of production or might, I don't hope this for anyone, but if there's anyone, he might end up falling to the wayside one day. Again, don't hope it for anyone because I like Scotty Barnes. But that's what I think. Simon, let's take a look at some of these comments and these questions in the chat. So, Cincy Edits, by the way, might be the number one Real Take fan in the history of this whole channel. Show some love to Cincy. Cincy, show some love to Simon. Well, here, this is Simon. Yes, he is a new guy. Well, actually, no, Simon's not new. He was here before.
I'm new, but I'm old.
He's old. He's an old man. So, Tyson Plays asks, I have dark matter, Moses Moody. I don't know what that means. Okay. LaMelo Ball is a beast. Yes, he is. Cincy Edit says, imagine having your player comparison as Patrick Beverly.
Hey. Patrick Beverly is a defensive stud. He's dirty, though. That's so... A player comparison to like Patrick Beverly. First of all, that's kind of disrespectful. I think that's highly disrespectful because Patrick Beverly is one of the dirtiest players I think the NBA has ever seen, but he's also hilarious to watch, though. He mocks Chris Paul. Did you see him mocking Chris Paul all that playoff series?
Because he tripped him because he actually heard it. Like, he's an asshole is what he is. Like, if we're being honest. But, yeah. Let's see. Let's keep it going. Clay got 2 ACL tears. He ain't going to be as good. It's possible.
What are you smoking? What are you smoking?
He might not.
This man is a shooter. His game doesn't really rely on his legs. Clay doesn't really even jump.
Well, that's what makes him lethal, though. It makes him more lethal. His athleticism is what.
So
if
he's just going to be standing there popping threes, I mean, shoot, he could do that on crutches. He could probably do it in a wheelchair if they let him. If the NBA was a wheelchair accessible league, Klay Thompson's still going to be shooting 50% from the field. I think Klay Thompson, with the amount of time that he's had off due to his injuries and COVID and just how Steph needed him this year, I think he's going to come back and really contribute. I'm saying Klay might go all NBA first team defense this year after the injury. And you heard it here first.
Since he just said in the chat, Patrick Beverley is a menace to society.
Patrick Beverley and his hairline are menaces to society. And we do need to.
Hey. This coming from fucking Dennis Schroeder over here. Take that hat off. Take that hat off, boy. Take it off. Oh, Dennis Schroeder ass.
Hey.
Hey.
I don't know what I can say, man. Like, I don't know.
You can't say anything.
Forehead is big. It's got game. Forehead got its own Wi-Fi, own zip code, but hey, leave it alone.
No, I won't leave it alone. I won't leave it alone. No. You take it off. You take it off for the rest of the episode. No, actually, put that shit back on. What are you doing? What are you doing? We got kids watching this. There's children. There's children here. Yeah. Simon, since he just said he loves you, by the way.
Oh, I love you too, Cincy. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And Omer, after tonight's episode, I think I'll be reactivating my NBA Twitter.
I urge you to not do that.
Why not?
Twitter, nothing good ever comes to Twitter. Ain't that right, Simon? Tell the people why.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the difference? Take it off. Hold up. Take it off. Yeah, you can't tell the difference. That's you.
That man wants 100 mil, though.
He ain't getting it. That's something you two have in common. You're probably closer to getting 100 mil than Dennis Schroeder will ever be.
Dude, I just don't think. I think his forehead's starting caliber, but everything below the forehead is not starting caliber.
You could block you could block the rays of the sun with that thing. Like
dunks the ball with his forehead.
Like shit. Since he is enjoying, I think he's very much enjoying this. He's very.
First of all, Dennis, can we pull that picture back up? Do you have a picture of Megamind?
No, I don't. I don't.
Oh.
I don't think that's for. We'll do that at a later time. But I thought that Dennis Schroeder one. I'm sorry. I need to roast you. Anyway, Simon, any last final thoughts about the NBA draft or anything going on with that before we move on?
With the Hornets picks, I mean, I see them in the playoffs. I see them getting bounced in the first round, but I definitely do see a playoff run out of that team. Houston, I want to say I see a playoff run out of them, but
this year?
No, not. I want to say it. I do I love the talent. I love Jalen Green. We've been watching this kid since high school. Like he's proven. I just don't think he's getting to, unless the NBA does the same playoff format this year. I do not see Houston getting a sniff of playoff basketball this year.
Interesting.
Actually, I don't see any of the top three teams that picked getting.
The Cavs. No, the Cavs. No. We're not making it. I want to make that abundantly clear. Cavs are not making the playoffs this year, and I'm fully aware of it.
I think the Minnesota Timberwolves are making the playoffs this year.
You think that every year. Everyone thinks that every year. It never happens. Anyway, let's move on, Simon. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. And as always, hit that like button too. Help me out. Love me. Give me love. Anyway, Simon, let's move on and talk about someone who might be the best player in the entire world right now, and that is no cap. Literally, he's proving it on the biggest stage of the world. Slovenia defeated. Actually, no, we're talking about Luka Doncic, by the way. I wanted to make that clear. So Slovenia defeated Spain today, 95-87, continuing their red hot streak in the lead up to and during the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. And much of that praise, much of that credit goes to one Luka Doncic. Doncic and the national team arrived in Tokyo as newcomers, never qualified for the men's basketball tournament before. Spain, meanwhile, boasts one of the best rosters with a lot of NBA talent and tenured international players, but it didn't matter. Slovenia bested them. And look, Luka in the past few games here as part of Team Slovenia, he's been averaging 35 points per game. He's been assisting the ball like crazy, basically having a triple-double. Coming into this game, he was averaging 36 points, like I said, and his career record, Simon, in international play with the Slovenian national team is 16-0. This man is undefeated, and he is balling out like it's nobody's business. Luka Doncic right now, Luka freaking Doncic might be the best player in the world, and he's proven it here on the world stage. What do you make of his performance so far, and that of Slovenia in the Olympics?
The NBA's in for a cold. We're in for a cold winter. You want to talk about a man on a mission, Omer? Luka Doncic. This man is not even 25 yet. He's over there balling out. His last performance, he didn't even have to score
22.
He didn't even have to score like that in order for them to win. And he's still out there busting. Hold on. Ass. He's busting that ass. He's busted. Like, man put up a triple-double with 12 points, 14 boards. Like, how many assists did he have?
9 assists. 9 assists.
Damn near had a triple-double, and he didn't even have to score like that. And we're talking about a guy who's literally on a team with nothing. Nothing. There it is. Nothing. No. This man needs to play like this all the time. Literally, Mark Cuban, just take this roster and hire them all and put them on the Mavericks. Just do it because my man is 16-0. You guys can't even get past the third round, the second. You barely get into the playoffs with the roster you have here. These Slovenian dudes are vicious. That is my pick for gold. If he doesn't get gold, then he just needs to stay over there until he gets gold and come back over here. I just don't. First of all, if Team USA runs into this man, they have a big issue on their hands because none of them homies can guard that boy.
Well, no. Here's the thing. The Team USA, one of their big problems, especially in this playoffs, has been their lack of, I don't know whether it's lack of desire or ability.
Defense.
As far as defense goes.
Parts.
If they don't try to stop Luka on defense, they're not going to stop Luka Doncic on defense, and they're going to have a problem. And look, Slovenia, as good as some of the talent that this country has produced has been, they've never made the Olympics. Luka Doncic comes in first year, boom, they're in the Olympics. Boom, they are dominating in the Olympics. They're undefeated under his reign of dominance in the Olympics. And look, you mentioned it. A lot of people are thinking the Team USA is a little down this year. Luka Doncic might have just beaten one of the best teams in the entire tournament in Spain. And look, if he keeps this up, yes. A lot of people are asking, does Luka have a chance of gold this year? Yes, absolutely. It is wide open. There's not even, I don't think there's even a conversation of whether they'll place. Slovenia will place. That's the much is guaranteed. But the question is, what will they place? I think they have a chance to get gold, especially if Luka keeps playing like this. And you know what I think is good, Simon? You know what I think is good? I think it's good that Luka is able to keep playing. Kind of having a little bit of an extension to the season, keep trying, and he's motivated by it. I like that because the only thing that's going to do is keep him in the mode of playing basketball, keep him conditioned, obviously, but he's going to get better. He's one of those players. He's like in Dragon Ball Z. The more they fight, the better they get, the stronger they get. Luka Doncic is basically He's basically like that, dude. The more he plays, the more experience he gets, only the better he will ever get. That is Luka Doncic, and the NBA next year needs to be scared of this guy because Kawhi Leonard, it took everything Kawhi Leonard had in a game 7 to stop this man. And he still broke the playoff record. I believe it was like a game 7 record. He broke a game 7 scoring record in that closeout game, and it took everything Kawhi ever had. So Luka Doncic is going to be on a tear, not only in international play, but in the NBA. And I genuinely don't think, dude, I don't think the NBA, a lot of these players are ready for it or realize it, which is weird because it's obvious if you watch the games. Luka Doncic is dominating in a way that no one else is, by the way.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy who's literally getting the ball inbounded to him, dribbling. All right, I'm open. I'm cash. It's money time. This man is special. And we've been saying it since he was drafted, but let's just not forget about the ball movement that's happening with this Slovenian team. Have you seen the ball movement? Jesus, that ball is moving.
Fundamentals.
It's all fundamental play with in the Olympics, and these guys got it. I am no longer, I don't know where this country is, but shit, I might have to go move over there and become a better basketball player myself because they got some nobodies out there. I can't even. Can you name one other player, Omer, from this team besides Luka?
I believe it's Doran. It's Goran Dragic's brother is definitely on there. I think his name is Doran. It's very similar to his name.
The family can only afford a couple letters in the name. In the family name, I guess. Goran.
It's like this is my brother Daryl. This is my brother Daryl. My other brother Darrell. Shit.
and Dotrell.
Yeah.
Wow. But no, Luka Doncic.
Zoran, by the way, is his name. Zoran.
And they play against Germany tomorrow at 9 a.m. Everybody tune in and watch the ball movement. I'm telling you, watch the ball movement. Luka might have he could have another off game. It's normal for him. He gets tired, but I definitely think this is the scariest version of Luka, and it's only the beginning. This is one of the scariest versions of him we see because he left that playoffs mad.
Yeah, he left it mad and motivated, man. Motivated. And this guy is only going to get better. Watch out, NBA. Watch out. He is and it's weird because I feel like there's this. I feel like for a while there was a lot of hesitation. I want to talk about this very quickly. There's a lot of hesitation, and then we all know why. Okay, let's be honest. Eastern European guy coming into the NBA for the past 10, 20 years, it has been hit or miss. It's a lot of times miss, And I think for a while there was a stigma related to players from that part of the world, picking them high, relying on them to be the main player, the franchise player in your team. Luka Doncic has changed all of that, it would seem. Luka Doncic, I think a lot of people, the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, who the hell is this guy, Luka Doncic? A lot of these people said that who is Luka Doncic? He's not going to be great. They underestimated him. When it was clear, if you watch the tape, when it was clear if you watch the games, when it was clear if you just listen to this guy speak, he won the EuroLeague MVP at the age of 18, Simon. 18. He was a child, basically, and he was dogging them grown-ass men on the court, making them look foolish, making them look like children, making them look like they were his age. And he comes to the NBA, and what does he do almost immediately? Does the same damn thing. He made playoff P look like a joke. He made a lot of times Kawhi Leonard wasn't on him. We don't know why. The first 4 games, Kawhi Leonard was nowhere to be seen in Luka Doncic's zip code. Why is that? Maybe it's because Kawhi was afraid of looking stupid. Maybe that's it. All these same people, the Stephen A. Smiths, who said that Luka Doncic was going to be a bust, who said that Luka Doncic was the most perplexing pick of that first round. You're doing a redraft, Simon, of that draft. Ayton, Young, Luka. Who's going number 1 in every redraft?
Luka.
You
have to. It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. You have to. If you are smart about basketball, it's him. So like for all these people who hated on Luka, and I get why. The stigma.
He
also
and all didn't want to be drafted to the top 2 teams in that. Remember?
Oh yeah,
and he wanted to go to Dallas.
Yeah, so it was a great situation. It was a great situation for him too. So, yeah. Again, I just want to get it out there, man. Fuck Stephen A. Smith for that one.
First of all, Stephen A. Smith doesn't know basketball. Stephen A. Smith.
What does he know? What does he know? What does this man know? I think
Stephen A. Smith just watches the highlights and calls it a day. There's been plenty of games where he was like, the defense was lacking. And it's just, they had a high scoring affair.
No, my man just comes in every episode either mad happy or mad sad. Well, let me just say this. I was very disappointed by what I saw transpire last night. The basketball was in LeBron James's hands, and then it wasn't. What happened? Max, tell the people. That's every first thing episode.
Pass it.
He's like, oh man, like that Jay Farrow sketch, like the SNL shit, like the thing they do. It's literally what Stephen A. does every time. Let's get to the chat real quick before we move on. If the Timberwolves make the playoffs, we are too. He's talking about the Cavs. Big shout out to Cincy Edits.
No. And let me tell you why the Timberwolves will make the playoffs. You're going to have the first season ever where D'Lo, you know what? D'Lo, this guy. God dang it. He's going to be able to play with Karl Anthony Towns finally, a full season, a full training camp. There is no excuse for 2 All-Stars and a rising All-Star to not be in the playoffs. They just need to get it together, because if they don't, everyone knows I'm a Timberwolves fan. If they don't, I'm going to off myself. God dang it.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't.
I'm tired of cheering for a team that's going to go out there and win maybe 19 games. Maybe.
How do you think I feel? I'm a Cavs fan.
They suck. They all suck. I don't get it. You have a polarizing talent in Karl Anthony Towns. This is technically the best big man. Like, on paper, when you take Karl Anthony Towns, can shoot, rebound, dribble, dunk the hell out the ball. He's going to yam that shit on you. And we just can't seem to win with this guy. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this banana boat monkey ship that we have running down in Minnesota, and it's been happening for years. Even down to when we had KG. We couldn't win with KG. And Sam Cassell couldn't get us a championship. I need to see some playoff runs, man. Minnesota, don't disappoint me again this year, man. I swear. Because if you do, I'll fly over there with my boots and jacket, because you know it's cold. And I'm going to smack all 15 of your lineup, everybody. And the coach, you can get it too. These are hands. The Wizards, god dang it, made it to the playoffs before you guys. They had 2 All-Stars. We got 1 now. He's not even playing there anymore. Shout out to Russell Westbrook going home, Brody. But man, geez, if we don't get to playoffs this year, can we just move the team out of Minnesota? Like, what winners do we have in Minnesota? Name one sport team that really wins in Minnesota. The Twins suck. The Timberwolves suck. The Vikings suck. I'm just tired of it. Minnesota should even. Let's just move them to Alaska. Just move to Alaska.
The only place colder you could think of, Minnesota and Alaska. Simon, why don't you tell us how you really feel?
I said, and we might still have that take where I said the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to be in the playoffs this year when they acquired D'Angelo Russell. Well, I might have said that. I'm pretty sure I did say that. Well, NBA world, I was wrong. I was wrong as hell. These people suck. It's just fun to cheer for them because, I'm a D'Lo fan. So if we could get D'Lo off this team so I no longer have to be a Timberwolves fan, I'm just a D'Lo fan. There's LeBron fans and then there's D'Lo fans. But, y'all ain't winning a damn thing. Y'all ain't winning a damn thing out there. Y'all just wasted Anthony Edwards. First of all, Anthony, you are not rookie of the year. I don't want to hear you ever argue about it again. Your team didn't even get to the playoffs. Like, shut up, kid. You call yourself Young D Wade. Yeah, Young D Wade. You might be Young D Wade, but you need to be better than Young D Wade because you need to get that jump shot, Slim. You will not be anything in this league with no jump shot.
I can't remember I can't remember any player who was ever better. Like I can't remember any good player who ever called themselves a young someone else. Like putting someone else's name into their name. Like, nah, you don't do that.
Talking about
like other people are supposed to do that for you. Other people are supposed to do that for you. You're not supposed to do that for yourself. But I agree. Let's take a look at the chat. Because Cincy has some wild comments for you. At one point, I think he called you a fake Colin Cowherd, but then he retracted that comment. So he retracted it.
What? But I want to know the reason why.
I want to be Colin Cowherd, I think was the name. But he'll answer it. He'll answer it. He says, Simon, the next Dennis Schroeder, Slovenia can't fix him. Calling you Dennis Schroeder. Playoff P is a joke. ESPN reporters don't actually watch the NBA. Just check Twitter mid-game. That's true. That's actually what Stephen A does. Just text Twitter. Since he edits, finally says, disband the team so Dennis Schroeder can have to pick a new team. He's just calling you Dennis Schroeder.
You know what? You're just mad because my team's better than yours.
Hey, man, how many rings did they got up in Minnesota?
We got 9.
Yeah, we got 1, bitch. Anyway.
Yeah. You guys could have had 2, though.
Yeah, if Kyrie didn't. I don't want to talk about it.
No.
Anyway, Simon, by the way, Trenzy, you used to be part of the rap game. You used to be a big part of that. Follow him, by the way, on Instagram there, guys. Follow him on Instagram at TRXNZI. That's TRXNZI on Instagram. Follow my man. Give young Trenzy a shout out. Simon, you used to love you used to be a little bit into rap, back in the day, melanated and educated. We remember those days.
Definitely was melanated, not educated, but yes, sir.
well, somebody who is definitely not melanated and probably not educated, Cole Beasley. Definitely he made a stir this week with not only his comments but something else he did. So a day after announcing that man, I can't even. So a day after announcing that he isn't an anti-vaxxer, but rather a pro-choicer when it comes to the vaccine, Bills wide receiver Cole Beasley decided to tell us how he really feels by dropping a rap song, or what some are calling, Simon, an anti-vax diss track. Now, I'm not trying to get copyright stricken, so I can't play it live on the air. Go find it on your own. It's something. It's not great, but it's something. One of the main lyrics that stood out to me was, quote, I don't need to get the vaccine. I have the heavy nuts immunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you know what?
The name of the song, by the way, it's called Heavy Ones.
Yes, sir.
So look, and this is also further complicated by the fact that the Buffalo area announced that those attending Bills games in 2021 are required to be vaccinated. So you're gonna have basically a stadium full of people who are vaccinated, and then potentially Cole Beasley who's not. There's been a lot of pressure on him to basically to get it. There's been pressure on players. He's been outspoken about it. So what do you think about, not only, his stance on this, because I think that's part of the conversation, but what do you think about the fact that he went the extra mile, really? He came out with a whole diss track. Like, that takes a lot of work. And he went to that amount of work to put out this diss track about his stance on the vaccine. What do you think about this?
I mean, in terms of, first of all, Cole Beasley, if you're watching this, that was a bar for a lifetime. You are a funny guy. You are actually a comedian. Now, I just got one question for you. Are your balls swollen, bro? What are you doing? Like, just go get the vaccine, dude. Take your little take your candy ass over to the damn thing and get the vaccine, dude. It's not that big of a deal for you. I don't get why. I understand the diss track, and I understand it, and I would applaud it if it was from someone who actually can rap. But mind you, this guy's been trying at the rap game now for we've had people say this before. Athletes want to be rappers, and rappers want to be athletes, and this is just another example of an athlete who should probably just stick to what he does best, which is playing football, because I'm sorry, dude, but like, you're trash. You're trash. You're trash. And like, you didn't have to make a whole diss track on, first of all, no one likes having to stand in line for 30 minutes after getting getting to get the vaccine and then sit in a room with a bunch of people you don't know for 15 minutes. No one likes it, but like, you got to do it. These are things that we do for you're being selfish at this point. Go get the damn vaccine, lace up, and go play the football and go try to win a Super Bowl, you bum. That's all I have to say about that. I do have the song downloaded though. I do have it down. I could play it.
Please don't. Look, so here's what I'll say. Again, I agree with you on this. It's comedic. It's funny. It's childish, but it's funny. Like I when I heard it, I laughed because I was like, yo, this is hilarious. Like, but also at the same time, I'm just like, dude, like how stupid can you be? Like, okay, it's one thing to have the stance, right? It's one thing to have the stance. I disagree with it. I think it's stupid. Just go get the vaccine. I've had it. Nothing's happened to me yet. I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Got my card right here. Like, within reach at all times. Like, it's fine. But it's one thing to say that you don't agree with it. It's another thing to say you're pro-choice and then go out and make a diss track about the vaccine, and then you claim you're pro-choice. You claim like I'm for anyone's right to do whatever they want to do, and then you're like you're preaching a little bit. Like, dude, no, you're not. You're just accept what you are. That's a whole separate thing. But I think it's just. It just shows you how sometimes people are just not informed enough about a topic to, make a decision. And it's sad, like, because football players, dude, these are not like, look, these aren't people who don't have access or the resources to a lot of information or the monetary resources to get access to information. Like, we literally watch millionaires every Sunday play football. We watch millionaires every Sunday on the field, like bash each other and tackle each other. It's kind of like insane when you think about it. And I just think it's a misinformed opinion. I think it's wrong. I think it's unwise for his teammates, because you remember you have to get past an 80% vaccination rate on the team in order to get certain restrictions lifted. So the Bills have been practicing outside. It's not fun to practice outside when it gets cold. It's just, man, it's dumb. It's dumb. That's all I will say. Childish, everything. Again, disagree with me. It is what it is, but this, like, come on. It's one thing to, like, say you're against it, and there's another thing to just go out there and make a diss track about it. Like, stop being a child.
It's very childish, and I do remember when the GM Brandon Beane said it would be an advantage to release unvaccinated players from the team. I do think that they should allow that, especially with guys making comments like this. He just blatantly said he's not going to get the vaccine, and he doesn't care about the safety of any of his family, his teammates, or the organization. I think it's time to let Cole Beasley go. You have to let him go. And especially during a pandemic where we've all sat in a house for almost a year and a half now. Let that man go. Let that man go. Him and his nuts can go. Take them heavy nuts and go sit down somewhere and don't ever stand up again.
Grab some ice, dog. Grab some ice up, son. Ice up.
Some hose, man.
All right. Well, that was.
Teeth, God dang it. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I'm surprised that when he recorded that stuff, we didn't hear. Like, we were surprised we didn't hear a lisp in that diss track about
That's
COVID.
Fucked up.
First of all, who writes a diss track about COVID? You have to be some type of insane to diss COVID. You know what?
Don't.
I hope they force you to get the vaccine, Cole Beasley. I hope they I hope they
And
force
now,
you.
now we're going off the deep end, but it is what it is. Look, Cole, just I would say like nothing for nothing. Just stop being a kid. Stop being a kid. That's all I'll say to you, Cole Beasley. Just stop being a kid. Moving on, though, Simon. Actually, before we do, guys, if you haven't already, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. We got daily videos on various different topics every single damn day. Actually, Simon, let's just get into this because I know this is something that is near and dear to both of our hearts. And look,
First of all, hold up. We won today, 5-6 against the Cubbies. Take that, Cubs.
Yeah,
Take
look
that,
who we.
Cubs.
Yeah. Another team that like traded away their entire starting lineup. Anyway, but all right. So let's let's just get it over with. The Washington Nationals cleaned house. By the time that the trade deadline had passed at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, the Washington Nationals had traded away multiple players, including Max Scherzer, Trey Turner, Brad Hand, Yan Gomes, Daniel Hudson, Kyle Schwarber, Josh Harrison, John Lester. It was a fire sale of epic proportions in D.C., in the nation's capital. The Nationals did receive a bonanza of prospects in return that will hopefully build the foundation for what will be another, hopefully, championship run. At least that is the hopes of GM Mike Rizzo and the hopes of National fans everywhere, at least. Rizzo actually said today that yesterday was probably as tough a day as I've had as general manager. The good thing about this group, he says, is that we've got everything out of this group that we could possibly get out. And I think for the most part, that's true. But Simon, you and I, we're both Nats fans. We were there for the ring. We were there for everything. What do you think? Was this the right move for the Washington Nationals to make at this time?
Sadly, I agree with I agree with the general manager here on trading away some of our key talent. I don't like where they traded them to. I mean, we gave away two of our best players to the damn Dodgers, man. Like, come on, man. How much more help can they possibly get? Now they have Max Scherzer, who's on the coattails of his career, still a Cy Young candidate. We're getting rid of Trey Turner, who was our speedster. We're talking about a guy who used to go out there and steal probably half the bases our team would get alone in that stolen base category. So we are going to drop in a couple of categories, but honestly, it was the right move to make because let's just be real. We suck so bad that someone had to go stop a game with shooting. We are so terrible. We are so terrible that, first of all, I don't think it's our fault necessarily. I think it's 100% COVID. I mean, you're talking about a team that came off a 2019 run in which they grinded for that one, and turn around the next 2 years and they're just completely trash. Like we're talking about baseball. You know, we all know we have our up and down. I am going to miss Max Scherzer and his different colored eyes showing up on the national screen when he's pitching and it's an 0-2 count and he's ahead. I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss screaming out Trey. I'm going to miss Schwarber. That was a sleeper. I did not think we were going to get rid of that man, considering the month he had. What month was it? Was it June, July?
It was June into July. He almost single-handedly. Here's the thing. Here's the weird thing. We were in the bottom of the division. We were decent. But then, we went on a run there with Schwarber when he was hitting it was like 17 home runs in 15 games. He was going insane. And we ended up actually almost, I think we were like 2 or 3 games behind the Mets at one point for first place. Then Schwarber got injured. That's what happened. He got injured. The season fell apart. And I think at that point, Rizzo and everyone else kind of realized that, maybe for the future of the franchise, maybe we're not going to get it. Like, we're not going to. Here's the thing. Even if we had gone to the playoffs this year, are we a serious contender? I don't think we're a strong one. No, we're not. And that's fine. We can say that. But I think making this move right now was the best thing for the Nats to do because you need a rebuild. You have someone like Juan Soto. Sorry, like Juan Soto. You have someone like Juan Soto to build this franchise around. When Juan Soto like reaches his prime in like 2 3 years, you want to have some new, fresh faces that are also entering their prime or playing great. By the time Juan Soto enters like his real prime, a lot like Scherzer is probably going to be on the decline. Strasburg is going to be on the decline. Hudson, all these players that we love, that I still love, are going to be on the decline. Trey Turner's going to be gone anyway, so you might as well get what you can for him. So there's a lot of reasons to probably make this trade, and Juan Soto is the main reason. You want to surround him with great prospects, and the Nationals have a great farm system. They've proven this time and time again. So I think we're going to end up being fine. We got some great prospects from the Dodgers especially. We got a big haul in prospects from the Dodgers. I think that we're going to be okay. It's going to be like 2 years of honestly pretty bad baseball. Like that's just the truth. A year at least of terrible baseball. While these people develop, while we maybe sign a free agent or two, wait for Strasburg to see what happens with him, because he's also been on his 2 years off, 1 year on of being injured and not. But it was the right move to make, and it hopefully will pay off in the long run, because the team wasn't going to win a championship the way it was constructed. They got everything out of it that they could. The fact that we got a championship out of this is insane. And I think, look, if you're a Nats fan, right? If you're a Nats fan and you're upset by this, which naturally you should be. I love, like Daniel Hudson is going to be a folk hero in the district forever, because he was the guy. The last strikeout in the World Series to finally clinch that in the Game 7 on the road, Daniel Hudson was the guy. Big love to Huddy. Big love to Schwarber. Big love to Yan Gomes. Very unsung hero for the past few years. Trey Turner, Max Scherzer, the like. Big shout out to all of them. But the fact of the matter is, we won the championship, the World Series, because everyone got hot at the same time. And it doesn't happen too often, and it probably was not going to happen in the same way ever again. We caught lightning in a bottle, and you know what? The Nats, they did the most with that lightning in that bottle that they could, and we got that ring. So Nats fans, hang your hats on that. Let's build for the future. We have Juan Soto. Juan Soto is going to be I'm almost done, an MVP level guy in a few years, and if we surround him with enough young talent, using these hauls, using some picks in the future, we're going to be just fine.
I also think as National fans, we were a little bit spoiled. I mean, this is a team that came together in 2000 in the 04-05 season. This is a team that hasn't even been in the district for 20 years, and we already have a world championship under our belt. It was time to rebuild as we get towards, as our team, progresses in age and everything. Like, not to mention, what is Zimmerman, like 50 years old now? That cat is old.
36.
Like,
36.
It's time to move on. It's time to move on, and it's time to turn a chapter here. I mean, I don't think we're gonna have 100-year, drought like those boys over there in Chicago. But I definitely think 5 years from now, give or take. I mean, people forget the Nationals have one of the strongest minor leagues farm systems in baseball. Like, we just have them. We have them all. So I'm excited to see who we call up from AAA. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really been paying attention to our AAA this year. But I'm excited to see what we call up, because Omer, Rizzo's got something in his pocket. He's got something planned. He's not gonna leave us Nationals fans hanging here.
One of the best GMs in the league by far. And look, we'll be fine, guys. Nats fans, we will be fine. I can assure you of that. I can also assure you will be fine if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, if you want access to some future exclusive content, also our weekly post-game episode, our weekly overtime episode every Tuesday night for the wrestling show, hit up patreon.com/Real Take Sports, $5 a month tier. You get access to that. You get to hang out with me and Trevor. By the way, Real Take Wrestle Talk, Tuesday nights. By the way, Simon, you know Trevor. We used to work at Dewdrop. You know Trevor. Yeah. I do a wrestling show with him every week. So if you like wrestling, check that out. Subscribe to the channel every Tuesday night. Cincy Edits, who's in the chat right now, can attest. It's a fun time on a Tuesday night. Anyway, Simon, let's keep this going. Let's keep it going and move on to the NFC North, where one Aaron Rodgers happens to still reside. Aaron Rodgers had returned to the Green Bay Packers after an absence of a few months stemming from several key disagreements. Aaron Rodgers had probably one of the most candid and open press conferences I've ever seen in my entire life. And he talked very openly about his problems with the team. He cited problems like the disrespect of past players like Jordy Nelson and the like, and the way they left the Packers. He felt like they were disrespected. That caused a little bit of rift between him and the team. He discussed how there were times where he felt like he was not being utilized or not being consulted about the moves that the teams would make, and he wanted to be consulted, and that was something that he really wanted. And also, he didn't shy away from saying it was the draft pick obviously did play a part in it. Last thing he also noted was there was a failure to commit to him past this next year, even though he was the reigning MVP. And that also was kind of played in a hand into this. Not so much a holdout, but him just not showing up to camp. It seems like Aaron Rodgers, for whatever it is at peace now. He's like, I will show up and I will play for the Packers in 2021. The Packers did trade for Randall Cobb, one of his former targets, for a long time in Green Bay. So they tried to appease him a little bit. They restructured his contract. He's got an out now after this next year. So Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes could happen fairly soon. But Simon, what do you think? What do you think about Rodgers coming back into the organization, rather, and, about some of the criticisms he levied, because they're kind of fair when you think about it. Like, the Packers have not treated him well.
I think this just shows how professional Aaron Rodgers truly is, and how much he actually cares about his job. He loves the fans out there in Green Bay. He loves the players. He just doesn't like the organization, and that's okay. That's okay. I do think I thought he was just not going to play, to be honest with you. I thought Mans was just like, I'm just not going to play. I'm happy that he came back because we get to see some NFL talent. He's one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. He's actually number 3 on the dot.
Reigning MVP, man, reigning MVP, and he just threw the ball like 150 yards. Like, there was a video of him like a few weeks ago throwing the ball 150 yards in the air. Like, he might be.
Yeah, the man's a true professional, Hall of Fame talent for sure. And it's sad that we're not gonna. I mean, it's sad that he's not respected by his organization. It's very sad. Now I do think Aaron Rodgers plays this season out, and then he dips. I think he dips, and I think he goes to a team that's actually gonna, take use into him. Like, he could come play for the Skins. The Skins have cap. The Skins have a young enough roster.
The Washington football team.
Yeah, whatever you want to call them. How about the Washington failures? How about that? Come play for the failures.
That's fine with me.
Come play for the failures. We got some young talent over here. We got some, nice targets for you to throw to. Aaron Rodgers, if you're listening, we will love you in DC. We will love you forever if you come play in DC. And although our GMs and our owners are kind of trash too. Oh, well, you know what? Just go play for the Steelers. Go play. Come home, Aaron. You know what? I'm tired of Big Ben. I'm tired of him. He old as hell. We need somebody new. So Aaron Rodgers, shout out to you. You're a true professional. I couldn't say I would have done the same. What about you, Omer?
I mean, look, he handled it. I think, okay, look, honestly, he handled it, I think, the best that he could. Like, because it was down to this. Either he was going to return to the Packers for this 1 year, play it out, or he wasn't. And he was just going to demand a trade, and they probably weren't going to honor that. I think they were in the direction where they weren't going to honor that. They obviously signed Blake Bortles. They were ready to have Jordan Love start. So, I mean, look, it got to a point where Aaron said, I like my teammates. I'm not going to abandon them like this. And I'm going to come and play football, be a professional. But I'm going to control my own destiny from here on out. And I think that's what it's about. I think next year you will see him elsewhere. I would hope so, at least. Because, look, Jordan Love, again, he's a first-round pick. That's one thing we can't ignore. Jordan Love was a first-round pick, and you don't trade up back into the first round to pick a guy if you're not going to start him in 2-3 years. So that's just plays a huge part in it, in my opinion. I think, and there's a few teams that I think still could get his services next year and be successful. One of those teams happens to be the New Orleans Saints. I think he would work very well down there in Sean Payton's offense. The Denver Broncos are also another team I think that would fit beautifully with him because they have Noah Fant. They have all these young targets. They have they're rebuilding their offensive line. They have Jerry Jeudy and all these young targets. Cortland Sutton. The defense is getting better again. That's a mean team out there. Maybe Miami. Who knows? Tua so far the Dolphins have not been impressed with what he's been doing in camp. He had some time where he struggled last year, albeit he was a rookie, but Aaron Rodgers down in Miami, it's warm. And where did Tom Brady go? He played 2 decades in the cold ass winter of New England. And just like Aaron Rodgers played in the cold ass winter, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, Florida is nice.
For a couple years too.
Florida is nice most of the time of the year, and Miami might be getting Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? I think those are some just landing spots that come off the mind. Who knows what the NFL landscape is going to be a year from now? Sports landscapes just changed like in a matter of weeks and months at this point. Who knows? But what I do know is Aaron Rodgers, I think he's kind of at peace, and he will control his destiny from here on out. One thing I want to ask you, because there were some people who were mad or took offense or whatever to the way Aaron Rodgers kind of handled himself in this press conference by calling out the team the way he did and how honest he was and how blunt he was. What do you think about those criticisms? Are they fair? Like about Aaron Rodgers, that what he did was wrong?
I think it's fair to say that he was wrong, but everybody's opinionated, and not everyone's on the insider of what this man is actually going through.
But it's like but it was like one of those things where Aaron Rodgers should not have done that publicly.
Nah, let that man do what he wants to do. He suffered enough. We're talking about a guy who's first ballot Hall of Fame, immediately came off the bench after Brett Favre retired and walked away in the sunlight and just performed every year and did not complain. And now it's time for him to be heard because he's probably one of the most disrespected superstars in the NFL by an organization. From what he's saying, he's disrespected. And he needs to put some respect on Aaron Rodgers' name. We're talking about, like you said, reigning NFL MVP. NFL MVP is over here disgruntled, and the team's not trying to do anything to appease this man. They don't appreciate him. So you know what? I'm all about keeping it a stack, a.k.a. keeping it 100, keeping it a bean. And I have no problem with Aaron Rodgers saying what he said. I have no problem with it because it takes a man to say that, especially on the stage that he's on. It takes a man to speak up about issues that he's having. Keep it a stack.
If you're someone who has a problem with the way Aaron Rodgers handled himself or he shouldn't have been that honest in the press conference, you're wrong. You're wrong. But you know why, Simon? There's no renovations. There's no new renovations at Lambeau Field without Aaron Rodgers. The Packers, those shareholders, they're not making as much money as they are right now without Aaron Rodgers. His teammates are not doing as well as they are and not getting those second contracts with other teams as much as they are without Aaron Rodgers. He makes everything he touches better. That's what Aaron Rodgers has done his entire career. That's what he's going to continue to do for the rest of his career. This dude is money, and he owns the Packers at this point. I don't care. He has so much leverage over this team, more so than anyone else. He deserves it, and he's finally starting to pull it. That's what you're seeing here. Aaron Rodgers was silent for a very long time, and he sat through a bunch of drafts where they didn't get him the help they should have. They missed on players, etc., etc. He finally said, "Dude, I am the franchise. Everyone knows it. Why are we trying to hide it? I'm the franchise. That's not disrespect to my teammates. It's just the truth. But let's build something here so everyone here can succeed." And if you have a problem with him saying that, then you just don't know sports. You just don't know people.
I agree. I concur. strongly.
I concur I concur that anyone who likes this video should hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Simon, 2 segments left. Let's keep it going and talk about
Nick Foles.
Yeah, your boy, everyone's favorite
Foley.
guy.
I hate Foley.
Big play Nick. Big trick Nick, as some call him, but others call him something else that I will not say here live on the air. Simon, 1 year after Matt Nagy helped spearhead the Bears' acquisition of former Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles from the Jacksonville Jaguars, the veteran quarterback is now a target of a potential trade after the foot injury that happened to Colts quarterback Carson Wentz. Nagy, who coached Foles before, is currently with the Bears, and the Bears' third-string quarterback just happens to be Nick Foles. And Nagy said he absolutely understands why a team would be interested in Foles. And you're taking a Super Bowl MVP, he says, and a guy who started a lot of games. He had a really interesting career in so many ways, and I just think he deserves that. I mean, anybody that's had that career, the career he's had, should be up for all teams. So Matt Nagy making it very clear there that Nick Foles would be a benefit to any team. He started some games for the Bears last year, did okay to start, and then kind of fell off. They lost a lot of games down the stretch. You know, the year before in Jacksonville, he got hurt. He, of course, he was fine with the Eagles, did great with the Eagles. His first year with the Eagles, I think, as a starter, he had like 23 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Then, he comes back with the Eagles, wins the Super Bowl, gets the MVP, starts a few games with Carson Wentz injured the next year as well, leads them to the playoffs. So Nick Foles has had a very interesting career. I'll agree with Nagy on that much, but do you think that there is a trade market for Nick Foles at this point in his career?
Yes. And they were talking about trading this man to the Colts earlier this morning, which I think is perfect. I think that'd be ideal for Nick
Bring
Foles.
him and Carson Wentz back on the same team. Another damn quarterback controversy.
I mean, that's his offensive coordinator from the Eagles back in 2017.
Yeah, Frank Reich.
So, I mean, they clearly made it work there. So, run it back, especially with the Colts who they need help. I also see him. I low-key see him. I mean, I see every player going to my Steelers, but let's talk about some other potentials. I definitely see so he can't go play for the Eagles again. We know that. I see the Colts wanting him. The Colts are probably going to make
They're needy. They're needy because like right now it looks like Wentz might miss a few weeks here with his injury. Wentz
is done. Talented, but can't stay on the field. And that's just the unfortunate truth for him. Anybody if you want to hate on me, at me. Wentz is done. He didn't win the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's not going to even play with the Colts really like that this year. Go get Nick Foles and get yourself a proven quarterback with the resume. We're talking about a Super Bowl MVP coming off the bench. So, I mean, I'm just saying, bring him to the Colts. I want to see him back with that offensive coordinator. I don't think there's a better spot for him. Of course, Redskins, but the Washington football team, but there's a lot of needy teams out there. I think his services would be greatly appreciated. You could even put him in New England because I just don't believe in Cam for real. I just don't believe in it. So there's a couple places he can go.
Yeah, I mean, the other question mark on Nick Foles, however, is going to be his kind of history of getting injured now. Because, look, he got injured with the Jaguars, missed a chunk of time there. Then he got traded to the Bears, started some games, then got that back injury, missed some time, lost a starting job to Mitch Trubisky. So it's been let's not say it's been smooth sailing for Nick Foles either the past few years, but I see what you mean. I mean, look. The thing is, though, the Colts invested so much in Carson Wentz. I think he's going to end up starting the games no matter if they even trade for Nick Foles. Also, Nick Foles, $14 million of cap money on his contract. That's going to be a big money number to move in any trade. So he's going to go to a needy team. One team that I could see possibly in the mix, and this would be a kind of plug and play kind of thing, is the Houston Texans if if they do end up trading away Deshaun Watson, and it's rumored that the Texans are basically going to eventually trade away Deshaun Watson. It's just a matter of who and how many picks they get back for him. And if that's the case, I think Nick Foles is going to be that kind of stopgap guy who you would want to kind of, I don't know, steady the ship, just have someone there who has the experience, and then kind of lead you guys to that 2-14 record where you're, I think their pick still ends up going to the Dolphins, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, regardless, I think that's a place. The Colts, again, would make sense. I think Frank Reich would have some incentive to bring him over, and I think he'll work better with Frank Reich than he would with Nagy and other people, because Frank Reich, I think, is the most underrated coach in the NFL. That guy, like doing what he does with a team, that he gets the most out of his players. No coach, I think, in the NFL right now gets the most out of their players, unlike Frank Reich. So it's possible. I think the Colts are probably the best landing spot, but it's a big contract to move. That's what I'll say.
All right. What about with the Dak injury? The Cowboys need a new backup quarterback. What do you think about Foles over there in Dallas? What do you think? How do you think that plays out?
I mean, it could work out. It could work out. Like Dallas, like they're also in an interesting scenario with their quarterbacks. Like they have a few quarterbacks. Like they like this kid Ben Nucci, I think Ben DiNucci is his name. Like they like him. He didn't do all too well last year, but it is what it is. Garrett Gilbert, they already signed a veteran there, and Garrett Gilbert, who he's like he can do some stuff. Cooper Rush, they have as well. Like he's like a young guy. They just, I think, drafted or signed. So I mean they could get Nick Foles and have him as the insurance policy and for Dak, kind of like they did with Andy Dalton last year. And look, still paying him just about the same they would have paid Andy Dalton. So who knows? But one thing I do know is I don't expect Nick Foles to be on the Bears roster to start week 1. Like because look, that depth chart, it's a pretty mean depth chart. I'm not gonna lie. Like Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, and Justin Fields. You know who this benefits the most this time right now in the Bears quarterback room? Justin Fields. Justin Fields is learning from Andy Dalton, who has, I believe, like 100 starts or something crazy like that in the NFL. Like he's experienced, played in the AFC North, went to the playoffs. As much as people want to shit on Andy Dalton, a very accomplished quarterback who has started a bunch of games, and all things considered, with the Bengals, love you, Cincy, played pretty well considering the stakes that he was given. And look, the what I will also say is, like, Nick Foles also in that room, Super Bowl MVP. Justin Fields, I hope he's absorbing up as much information from these two guys who have so much playing experience, because it's only going to help him progress even to a better player. And that's what I think. So I think this all just benefits right now, this time, Justin Fields. We have a question in the chat that I think you'll be interested in. Just bear with me here. John Davis asks, what do you think of the Wizards offseason, and what should they do to build around Beal? And is Lonzo in question for the Wizards? So I guess, is Lonzo also in the hunt for the Wizards?
Ooh, I like this question. All right. Well, first of all, what the Wizards need to do to build around Beal is get this man some help. Either get him some wings that are going to be, locked down, they can play, inside and outside. Get that man some help. But definitely get him a point guard. I think John Wall and Beal. I just don't think it was. I don't think it was okay, because I think it stunted Beal's true potential for a little bit. I think if you do add Lonzo, who is a pass first point guard, who is also outstanding on the defensive side of the ball, along with that Wizards team, that young team, they got Rory. Who else do they got? They got Beal. They just traded Westbrook. They got Trez, and they got Kuz. I think if you add Lonzo,
a reunion of Lonzo and Kuz.
I think Lonzo. I mean, I just don't think the Wizards have enough to really pay for Lonzo. That's the thing. Because if the Wizards are talking about getting Lonzo, they're talking about paying him Pelicans money, and the Pelicans don't want to pay him that money. So, we'd have to do a sign and trade for Lonzo, and that's going to be giving up a lot.
Well, no, you wouldn't, because you just cleared Westbrook's contract for this year off your books. So you have the money to potentially get Lonzo. The question is,
But
do you want to spend that money to
Spend
get
all that
Lonzo?
money on him.
Especially
No,
when you look, as you, I don't know what people want to say about Kuz. You might want to end up re-signing Kuz because Kuz is not a bad player. He's someone who gets a bad rap, I think, but he's not a bad player. And I think he's someone who can be that third option on a team and contribute. It was a weird mix with the Lakers. I think the dynamic with the Lakers and that team, the way it was built, was just weird, and he didn't fit there when LeBron and AD were there.
because he balled out before LeBron got there.
Yeah, he was balling out. Yeah, absolutely, like 19 points a game.
Yeah, rookie year really did his thing, but actually it might have been a sophomore season.
Either way,
kid balled out. I did say that he needed a new start, a fresh start, a restart, and I think at this point in his career, Kuzma, if you pair him up with Lonzo, we get a couple pick and rolls in there. The team's going to automatically be better on the fast break. You have Beal, who's just looking for. He's just hungry. You want to make him stay. Bring Lonzo in. Yes, bring Lonzo in. You have Trez. You have Kuz. That's a nice pick and roll with the pop option out there. And then also, I mean, it just relieves what the Wizards had problems with this year, especially when Westbrook was out, was finding ways to get Beal the ball without him being completely tired in the fourth quarter. The Wizards would lose a lot of their games in the fourth quarter because Beal sits out the first 6 minutes every fourth quarter because he's played. The Wizards just have a lot to do going forward. They've already made progress by getting rid of the GM, Ernie Grunfeld. I think that was a big step because he was just terrible. I do think the Wizards need a guard. I just don't know if Lonzo is necessarily the guard that they're going to be able to get, considering he's a restricted free agent. He could possibly go anywhere. And I don't think he wants to end up in – they're saying he's going to end up in Charlotte with his brother. I think he's going to end up in Chicago. I like Lonzo on Chicago.
That would be they need a primary ball handler who can pass the rock to Vucevic and Zach LaVine.
Not it.
Yeah,
they're just not it. And they're solid pieces, but what has Chris done? What did he average this year? Like 1 point a game?
Actually, I think it was 1 point a game.
Jesus, I can do that. The man went to the foul line and missed one. That's what we're saying. Based on his stats. He went to the foul line and missed one. So I think I like Lonzo on the Bulls. I don't necessarily see him in DC. However, if he comes to DC, I mean, I might consider being a Wizards fan again. But
here's my thing. I just don't see this, man. I don't see it working out with Bradley Beal, to be honest with you. I don't see it working. Dude, because look. Here's the thing. Russell Westbrook was the guy who Bradley Beal liked. Russell Westbrook was the guy. Bradley Beal literally said, I have not had as much fun playing with anyone as I've had playing with Russell Westbrook. And look, they traded him away. It was what it was, right? But at this point, you got to think, are the Wizards really in a mode where, like, who is out there that they're going to get and immediately contend? Who is out there? Lonzo? Are they going to be contenders with Lonzo? Simon, yes or no? No. Are they going to be contenders with anyone? Who's out there on the free agent market this year?
There's not anybody the Wizards can get that's going to
Nobody. So if you're Bradley Beal, you're in the prime of your career, and you see this, another rebuild happening in Washington, and they made the playoffs despite the rebuild. Why are you there? Like, look, and I'm not saying like you should go or whatever, right? Like, it's just, I'm trying to be in Bradley Beal's shoes here. And the Wizards' shoes, honestly. At that point, like, you're the Wizards, you know you're not going to win anything. At that point, why don't you just trade away Bradley Beal? Get what you can. Kind of do what we talked about with the Nats. Do what the Nats did. You know you're not going to win. There's really no like plug and play options here where you're going to win. Russell Westbrook was the closest you're going to get, honestly, as far as a 1-2 combo of contending for anything in the playoffs. That was the closest they were going to get. It was the closest they're going to get. That's the God honest truth. And so at that point, if I was a Wizard, I would just be like, let's do like doesn't have to be a deep one. Let's just trade away Bradley Beal to the highest bidder, get a haul to take a page out of the OKC Thunder playbook, get those like 17 draft picks in like 7 years. It's crazy, but like it's something like that. Like just go, just do it and do it the right way. Be patient with it.
Yes, I think the way they got rid of John Wall was kind of absurd. Considering you only got a considering John Wall ended up balling out this year. I mean, so and uh, but where would you trade Bradley Beal though? Where do you trade him?
I mean, look, it depends. I think Bradley. Look. It depends on what you would want. It would depend on like the fit, but the fit is like easy, I think, to see. The fit. There's a few places that right off the bat come to me. Dallas would be a place that I think they could go to, that he could go to and be very good at, and they'd be willing to part with their with a lot of picks in order to get him. I think a team like maybe the Celtics would also, potentially be willing to trade for him. I think Bradley Beal would be worth more than a point guard at that point. But I mean, another team so there's a few teams out there. The Magic potentially. I don't know what they would have to give up.
Bradley Beal wants to go over to the Magic.
Jalen Suggs, Bradley Beal, and Franz Wagner though.
Yes. 3 years from now, that might look good, but we're talking about Bradley Beal's and win now.
Well, then it would be for me. It would be Dallas. It would be the only two places you're going. The only two places you're going right now if you want to try to win, that aren't the Lakers, the Nets, because everyone wants to go there. In my opinion, you're going to Dallas, or you're going to potentially LA if that's what.
What about Miami?
I don't know about Miami. They would have to trade away like Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson. I don't know if they're going to do that.
I think that it would be worth it for them.
It would be worth it. Yeah, you trade Tyler Hero because look, good as he is a little inconsistent. That's true.
He's so young though. That's the thing. And because the way I see Tyler Hero working out is I see Tyler Hero eventually at his best being like a Bradley Beal type of player, like being that guy. So you would just be essentially trading in. You wouldn't do it straight up. You'd have to go get some picks.
Oh yeah. Bradley Beal. Yeah. Because like that, then the Heat would be in win now mode. But I think him and Luka would be a lethal combination too. Because that's what the Mavericks are missing. That other person, other than Luka Doncic, who is the primary ball handler on that team, someone who can work off the ball and score. That's what they were missing in that playoff series against the Clippers. And honestly, what?
Who are they giving up? Because the Wizards don't want Porzingis.
They'll take Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr. and a salary dump, a salary dump and a bunch of draft picks, Like they'll take that. They'll take that. Because look, and you also got to think what other team's going to trade for him. It's not going to be Lakers now. Lakers aren't trading for him. They don't got the money nor the capital anymore. They already made the trade for the player on the Wizards they wanted.
Yeah.
And that was the destination. We're always talking. That was the guy. That was the destination. And it ended up being LeBron actually wanted the other guy in Washington and not Bradley Beal.
Because he needs a real point guard.
Yeah, he wants a point guard who can take some pressure off of him and he trusts making decisions. And I think he will trust Russell Westbrook making decisions.
I really do think Miami might be the place to go if you give Washington Tyler Hero and let's say Kendrick Nunn. Give us Kendrick Nunn. That solves the Wizards' point guard problem.
No, it doesn't.
Dude, this is a team that played with Tim Frazier at the starting point guard for a couple seasons. For crying out loud.
Wow.
Was injured. This is a team that has Ish Smith. They don't have any type of. They don't care. They don't care. So I think you trade Kendrick Nunn. We get like a second round draft pick and like a future first round pick along with Tyler Hero. And I think the Wizards throw Beal away. And that would be the start of a rebuild because this is not a win now team at all. And I don't see it being this year, next year. They just haven't drafted necessarily guys. Like Rory is cool, but do you think he's next level talent? Do you think he's going to take that jump this year? I think they did a good job by acquiring Kuzma and Trez, but
look, Corey Kispert, by the way, Corey Kispert, by the way, good player they got out of Gonzaga this year in the draft. I just want to be clear about that. Dude, like they got some good players. It's just they're a ways off. They're just too far away, I think, for Beal to be be
They
a
should have
piece.
rebuilt a while ago.
They should have just when they traded away John Wall, they should have they should have just done should have done a full rebuild last year, because this draft was so deep. It was so deep, and if they had multiple picks in this draft, they would have been it would have been really good for them.
Fine for them. Yes, because now we're looking at a Wizards team that might lose to the Cavs this year. We're looking at a Wizards team that might lose to a lot of lower tier teams that are going to be something in the next 3 years. But Bradley Beal's in win now mode, and the Wizards are kind of in this awkward position because Bradley Beal's the only reason why that stadium why the Capital One Center or arena, what is it called? The Cap One Arena gets filled. He's our marketing. He's all we have in DC in terms of DC sports. This is the guy in DC now, with the Nationals shipping off all their guys.
What about Fitzmagic? Don't
wait,
hate
no, we still have Ovechkin. Ovechkin came back.
Ovechkin too. Oh my God, Ovechkin came back.
Someone
who's so hey, real quick, because I also got a question about this in the chat. So Chris Paul today declined his player option today, his $44 million player option. He's an unrestricted free agent now. That being said, the caveat is he is expected to re-sign with the Suns. That's his agent has already told everyone, don't pursue me. I'm 99% going to re-sign with the Suns, 3 years, $90 million deal kind of thing. So what do you kind of make of that, as far as, either him being technically an unrestricted free agent, but not really, and him leaning towards re-signing with the Suns and him being there for the next few years?
I think if he's going to re-sign with the Suns, the best thing he could do is take a little pay cut.
That's what he's doing.
He's not 90 mil though. I'm saying Chris Paul's Dennis.
It was either that or he was like $44 million for 1 year.
Chris Paul, if you're watching this, I love you, man. But give that money back after that damn finals. Give that money back. You were talking about point guard. Oh, he's point guard. What's up with the turnover at the end of the game, Slim? What's up with that? You are cursed. That performance was honestly putrid. You're going
By the way, hold up. You know who just joined there's two very important people joined the chat. Bye, Cincy, by the way. Two very important people joined the chat. One, Liam, who is like this fan from Scotland I have on multiple channels. What's up, Liam? Mazel to you. And the other person, I want you to guess who this is by the name. Simon. His name is the Markman123.
The Markman 123.
The Markman123. I want you to guess who that is.
Is that Marcus?
Yes, sir. The Markman123. Hey, Liam, Cincy. If you like good quality content in the future, go follow this guy, the Markman123, on YouTube. Follow that man. Great guy. Hopefully, we'll be putting some stuff. We'll be working with him to put some stuff on his channel pretty soon. But Liam is up here watching this channel, Simon, at 2:35 in the morning over there in Scotland. Big
Good morning, mate.
A winner is you, mate. Good. Thank you for your subscribership. I love it. Be sure you guys know. Tuesday nights, by the way. We get real take wrestle talk every single Tuesday night right here on the channel. Oh my God, it's a reunion. Everyone's here. Ryan Woodridge now is here. Hi, bro. What's your thoughts on Cobb going back to Green Bay? And what are your thoughts on the COVID variant going on? So, I mean, look, the COVID variant, I'll be very quick about that one. It's dangerous, man. Like, look, it's important to do what we can. There's easy stuff you could do. Get vaccinated. If you're in a surrounded area, like a very crowded area indoors, wear a mask just to be safe. Don't risk anything. It's not that much. It's not that hard. You don't have to do it for a long time. Schedule stuff outside. We just gotta be better about it. We gotta be better about it. Oh shit, they found my political channel. Oh well, go subscribe to that as well. Randall Cobb going to the Packers, though, I think it's gonna take a step to make Aaron Rodgers better this year. They're gonna get another receiver. I think that's good for them. Like, not and look, you add some receiving help to Devontae Adams, Van Des Scandling, and those boys over there. It's gonna be good for them. And I had a whole segment of Aaron Rodgers and the Packers that I did we did actually, like, I think a few minutes ago. So go check that out if you haven't already. But so there's that, and we'll see. But yeah, it's your boy, the Markman 123. Marcus said, IDK, what's up? But YouTube just sent me a notification that you were live. Thank you, YouTube, for finally promoting my shit. It took you long enough. Finally promoting. No bullshit. Been doing this for months. Finally promoting my stuff. What else? What else is going on? Simon, what else is going on in the world of sports? What are you mad about most in sports today? What's pissing you off?
What's pissing me off right now is that damn USA basketball team. I just don't understand how the hell. We're talking about NBA talent. We're talking about NBA superstars. We're talking about some of the best players in the world can't get it together. And I get it. They don't play together. I get that. They don't play together every day. They didn't have.
But no one does. No one in international ball does.
But we didn't have nearly as much time to practice. Like, some of our main pieces were playing in the finals. Jrue Holiday, Middleton, Booker, Lillard. But come on, guys, it's basketball. Like, we can't just keep playing it like it's pickup basketball anymore. These countries are getting a lot better, and they're on our ass. It's time for us to step up. USA basketball hasn't necessarily been the best. And we're talking pre-LeBron now, after LeBron, well, post-LeBron. So we're talking post-LeBron. We're nearing post-KD. We're probably not going to have KD the next Olympics. So we're kind of in shambles right now, and I just don't understand, because we have some of the best technology, the best facilities, and we just still can't get it right. And anything short than a gold medal is a failure on you guys' behalf. And that's not to take away from the other teams. I'm just saying that you guys are so spoon-fed that you should win every game.
Yeah. I agree. It's too many resources for them not to be successful, and that is not taken away from the international community, which, internet everywhere. Basketball is growing everywhere, and it's showing. I think USA can't be lazy anymore. That's what this is proving. USA, stop being lazy, and you wouldn't be losing. John Davis in the chat says, last question, how far do you think the Washington football team can go this season with the addition of Ryan basically Ryan Fitzpatrick? Hey, look. They went 7-9 last year, 6-10, or actually I think they were 6-10, right? No, 7-9 last year. They had a losing record, made the playoffs. It was abysmal, if we're not gonna lie. But look, they went to the playoffs and they gave the Bucs a run for their money with Taylor Heineke, and that defense is amazing. Like, that defensive line is real. What do you think about that? Like, how far can the Washington football team go this year?
I think they win 9 games. 9. And that's solid for them. That's solid for them, considering this is a young team. Lots of talent to develop. I think 9 games is not – we're not asking for a lot with 9 games. Now, double-digit wins, maybe a postseason appearance, yes, with 9 games. I mean, considering the division they're in is absolute garbage. So they can take 9 games and go win. Now, whether or not they'll only go as far as Fitzmagic takes them. And I think he can get them 9 games as a proven NFL starter. I think he can get them 9.
The inconsistency, that's what gets me.
But their defense, the thing is, he can be inconsistent with this defense.
Interesting.
Defense is probably this year. The defense this year probably could score alone. Give them the ball. You know what? The defense, we're talking about a top 10 defense in the league this year. Entering preseason prediction, top 10. So, and defense wins games. He just got to go in there and win 9. I'd be happy. I'm not even a Washington football team fan, but I'd be a proud Washingtonian if this team went out there and won 9 games. Considering we're now thinking as the Washington football team might be the second best team in the district. That's sad.
Hey, that being said, though, they're in the NFC East, so they could win 6 games. They might still be in it.
That's what I'm
Anyway,
saying. Their division's not that competitive. So
no, it's very competitive. It's just not that good. So let's keep going with these questions. Actually, I'm enjoying this. Are you? You're
yeah,
fine if we take
yeah,
some
I'm
more
down.
questions? All right, let's keep it going. So, all right. So Cincy went to bed. Good night, Cincy. We'll see you on Tuesday. The Markman 123 just asked. Oh, sorry, Ryan. Actually, we'll go with the Markman's question. Ryan, we'll come back to your question in a second. Markman 123 just asked, "What did you did cover the atrocity in the north side of Chicago? What atrocity in the north side of Chicago? You mean the Bulls not having any draft picks? I mean, yeah, we pretty much covered that. Get Zach LaVine some help. Get Nikola Vucevic some help. I don't know. Maybe elaborate on what's going on there. Get them. I need some milk." All right, so Ryan actually asked this. What team will pick up Adrian Peterson? He's old. He's old.
I'm sorry, I just don't see it anymore. We're talking about a guy.
Look, Frank Gore was around for a while. Frank Gore was still around last year, but I mean ADP. I mean, the thing is, a lot of teams have already started filling out their roster. Devontae Freeman signed somewhere, like maybe the Rams. They could use some help. Reunite him with Matt Stafford. They have a relationship. We know that, so maybe I think that would be a place.
I don't think he gets signed, bro.
Even for the veteran minimum.
I just don't. What can he really do anymore, though? He's
coach. He could coach. He could coach. He could produce.
If he gets folded, he's done at this point. We're talking. This man is one more injury away from just putting it up, and he should have put up the cleats a while ago. Hang the cleats up, AP. Don't ruin your legacy by trying to go out there and play for the veterans minimum. We know you like football, but go play in the what's that other football league? You're XFL. Welcome there. Yeah, USFL. Go play over there. Yes, go play over there, dude. Like you got it. You got it. You don't have anything else to prove in the NFL.
Yeah. So Marcus actually clarified what he's talking about. He was like, we lost all the Cubs. Yeah. So Ethan was supposed to come on, or actually no, we talked about him coming on today and talking about that, but I think he was at a game or something, so he didn't get a chance to. But we'll have him on to talk about that hopefully this week. By the way, guys, this Thursday night, I did not plug this at all, Simon. This Thursday night, Real Take Sports Talk number 50, the 50th episode of Real Take Sports Talk. Did not think it would get this far. The 50th episode of Real Take Sports Talk will be live this Thursday night. Got a lot of special surprises. It's going to be a little bit of a Real Take reunion. Got a lot of people showing up for that one. We're going to try to get Ben back on the show. Ethan, hopefully. Simon, I'm going to talk to you about that, We'll try to get Johnny. That'll be the day of his final, but we'll try to squeeze him in there. Try to get the Real Take fam in there. Have a nice talk about sports, hopefully wide and hopefully awesome, but we'll see about that.
On the Knicks. Takes big, steamy dumps on the Knicks.
Take huge.
Now, I have a question for you.
Hold up, let me actually just say one thing. So since he asked what episode of Wrestle Talk is on Tuesday, Real Take Wrestle Talk is like I think 21 episodes, and we're gonna be talking about Bray Wyatt's release and AEW Homecoming. So check that out, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. By the way, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Simon, before I rudely interrupted you.
All right, no, you did it. I'm okay with it. I want to know, Omer, who do you think takes home the World Series this year as we enter October?
The Dodgers.
Not the Padres?
Padres got better. Padres got a lot better, but it's the Dodgers. It is the Dodgers.
What about are they still hot? The White Sox? The White Sox still hot?
Sox, they traded. I think they traded for somebody from the Cubs. Like they got better. They got better.
They got Craig Kimbrell. They got Craig Kimbrell.
They got Kimbrell. So they got better. It's just a matter of like perspective. I think. I think personally that the Dodgers, given what they had before and what they got in Scherzer, what they got in Trey Turner, they got so much. That put them over the top, man. That really put them over the top. Yeah. So I mean, look, it's for me, it's the Dodgers. I think they're the odds-on favorite from the from the National League. I think American League. If I were to say, I would have said the Yankees, but I don't know.
I think the Athletics. I think they're
The
in
A's are
contention,
getting
right?
better. The A's are getting better. By the way, Ryan, you just asked me what I thought about WWE getting rid of Bray Wyatt. Boom, there you go. Click on that link. I just pinned it in the chat. I talked for an hour the other day about my thoughts on that. So check that out. If you haven't subscribed if anyone's new, who's that? Democ Crazy. Man, you love to see it. Democ Crazy just joined the chat. Welcome, Democ Crazy. We got the chat is lit right now. We got some more questions here. Hi, bro. Will the Milwaukee Brewers win the World Series this year? Milwaukee Brewers, man. Milwaukee Brewers are an interesting team. You know, they're always one of those like bubble teams or those teams that have good seasons, but they don't end up. That doesn't end up translating to playoff success. They're 60. I believe they have like 62 wins, 40 something long. Like they're doing pretty well this year, but I mean, it just depends. It depends on like, you know, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is the year they finally do it. I would hope so. Like considering the fact that y'all are losing Aaron Rodgers in a few years, so yeah.
Got 63 wins.
63.
They got 63. They are top of the NL Central. It looks like they're running away with the NL Central. But they're not the best team in the National League in terms of talent. I just don't see. I see them making a deep run considering the seeding that they'll get. I do not see them winning the World Series because you still have to get whoever.
I just looked it up. Looked it up. The Dodgers bodied the Diamondbacks today, 13-0. Yeah, this is without they.
You know what's crazy is the Nationals, when you look at the standings, are not terribly behind either.
But they realized it was like, dude, do you want to be middling for like the next few years and wind up being terrible, lose Juan Soto?
Now the Diamondbacks are terrible.
Oh, the Diamondbacks. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. That's why.
No, I have a player on the show who plays on the Diamondbacks, and there's not a worse franchise in baseball right now. I'm talking, they've won 33 games up to this date, Omer. 33 games out of 100 games. They've won 33. Jeez.
Get
him out of here.
Get him out of here. Literally, get him out of here on some it is not great. It is not great. Marcus just said, oh yeah, we didn't get any questions on Ben Simmons at all. Marcus just says the Cubs are going to come back and win it all. Yeah, in like 20 years they will. But
100
like shit. Marcus will stay alive. He will not die until the Cubs win the World Series again. He wants to see 2 in his lifetime. I know that for a fact.
In our lifetime before he sees 2 in his lifetime.
We'll see. Hey man, look, if we all see 2 in our lifetime, I think that'd be great. What
Mets win?
God, I will never hear the end of if the Mets win. Actually, you know what? I'd rather have the Mets win the World Series than the Knicks win like an NBA final. Like the Knicks can never win. I never want to see.
I'd much rather have the Knicks win a finals because I do like some of the players on the Knicks. I do like Julius Randle, and I remember tweeting before I deactivated my Twitter, hey, Ernie Grunfeld, Randall's on the market. Like, go get him. He's a stud. Didn't get him. Didn't get him.
Look, dude, it's just Knicks fans. Knicks fans are much worse than Mets fans. I'm not going to lie to you. Knicks fans are much worse than Mets fans.
I think they're the same fans.
Oh, no. But they're more. Here's what I'll say. Knicks fans are much more assholes and idiots about their team than Mets fans are. Because the Mets have put together some good teams. The Knicks they're just irrational. Like, look, I get being excited and everything. Like, there's some players who are legitimately saying, like, nah. Then there's some people, some Knicks fans out here, some of these Knicks fans out here who are being like, nah. You see, what you got to do is you got to build around this core. These kids, let me tell you, these kids are gonna like RJ Barrett he's gonna be better than LeBron. They're like these kids, they got it. We don't need to add no scoring. We don't need Zion. We don't need anybody. This core will win a title. It's delusional. It's delusional. Like they were the same people who were like, yeah, we want Brooklyn. We want Brooklyn. Couldn't get past Atlanta. You won one game and you're chanting, we want Brooklyn. Couldn't get past Atlanta. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get past one player. Couldn't get
what they said about Trae Young. Did you see the montage of people hating on Trae Young?
They spat on him. These disrespectful ass fans spat on Trae Young. Absolutely distasteful. Distasteful.
Knicks fans told Trae Young to S&D.
Fuck. See, this is why I don't like Knicks fans. This is why I don't like Knicks fans. I thought you went to sleep like twice already. Since he says in the chat, the Reds will get in the World Series if they get good pitchers and a better bullpen. We can say that about almost any team. Yeah, Marcus says, I'm going to die before it happens again. Sorry, I'm going to die before... No, that's not his voice. Oh, man. I'm gonna die before it happens again. Let's be real. We lost Baez. Yeah, they did lose. Oh, fuck. Hobby went to the... Fuck. Oh my God, Mets. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think we had a pretty good show today, Simon. Hey, by the way, let's give a round of applause for all the people sharing their thoughts in the chat. Thank you guys for engaging. This makes it so much more fun. It makes our lives so much better. We love it. We love it. Love to see it. Thank you guys for joining us. If you haven't already, please smash that like button so you help out the algorithm and everyone else in the wonderful world of sports talk can get to see this.
Don't forget to share.
Share this. Yeah, share this with your friends. Share this wonderful channel where we got multiple things happening every single day. Real Take Wrestle Talk on Tuesdays. Real Take Sports Talk on Thursday. Real Take Sports Talk 50. The 50th episode spectacular on Thursday. It's going to be awesome. We're going to talk about sports, have a lot of fun doing it, just like we did tonight. Also, reminisce a little bit. I got sports docs coming out. I got sports docs that I'm working on right now. They're coming out in the next few months. I got one per month coming out scheduled here. If you want to get early access to those, so you can subscribe on patreon.com/Real Take Sports. Those will be coming out pretty soon. I got a lot of stuff going on. Subscribe, just subscribe, and you'll stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter @Real Take Sports. My boy Trenzy, don't forget to follow him on Instagram, on the Insta
right now,
right there @TRXNZI on Instagram, TRXNZI on Instagram. This kid is a beast, melanated, pretty educated, and just a big boss.
Also, hit me up if you need a home. I'm in them. I can serve you. No closing costs, ladies and gentlemen. No closing costs.
Oh yeah. No closing costs. If you're looking for a home, hit him up. DM him at TRXNZI. He got you. Let's keep it going. Is Trevor? All right, last question here. Is Trevor going to be on Thursday? I'll ask him, and we'll find out. We'll get the whole gang here. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to get the whole gang on Thursday, but we'll see. Thank you guys for joining, Simon. This has been so much fun. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me. And Reels takes thanks for frying up this forehead right here. Dennis Schroeder is back. It's a pleasure to be here, Omer, and I look forward to the 50th episode. Tuning in then.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll have you there.
I'm just gonna call off work that day. So
no. Don't call off work. Don't do that. Don't call off work just to do that. All right. Look, we know you're busy. We know Simon. We know you're busy. You play point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. We know all of this, man. We know you're a busy dude. So we don't want you to lose money. We don't want you to lose sponsorships. We don't want you to lose.
Los Angeles. This is the game jersey that I wore over my forehead.
It still didn't cover shit up though. Honestly, no. Can we be honest though? The recovery of his airline is the greatest comeback in sports.
It is because that thing was the minute.
That thing was insane. Anyway, I get fucking signal off of that thing. Anyway, it's like, yo, you got that Schroeder? What? Yo, you want that Schroeder, bro?
Hey, Schroeder G. That's what you got.
Fuck a 5G. You got Schroeder G. Anyway, thank you, Simon, so much. This is so much fun, man. Every time we got you on, so much fun. Again, you need a home. You need fun. You need critiques on your rap songs at TRXNZI on Instagram. Go follow him. Go check it out. At Real Take Sports on Twitter for us. Subscribe. Patreon.com/Real Take Sports. We will see you all later. Thank you for joining us. Bye.